like you feel the same.
She's like, oh,
No, I think that my perspective on it is different because I grew up religious. And so therefore I feel like I was really stunted. So, being in a small town, combine that with religion and the naivety that I grew up under.
So here we are, Jill. So we're here. This is our second video podcast here. And the first one was just Scotty and I, and that we announced that we were like working out all of the kinks, technical wise and all of that. So Jill is our first victim on the podcast. It's a Jill Rutherford with OCG Creative. She is a dear friend of ours, and her and her team designed our website. But we know we can be real with Jill. So it's we felt like you'd be a perfect first fit where we could just not be stressed and just be ourselves. And if we have some microphone trouble or whatever, we'll just laugh it off.
it'll be even more fun. I can't tell you how I'm flattered, first of all. And then I've been so excited for this because you're two of my favorite girls. And
Aw.
I just always feel like when we spend time together, it's just so fun and natural.
Yeah.
So
Same.
I was super excited. Normally for something like this, I think I would have been nervous,
Really?
Yeah. but not
No.
today.
Yeah. You're like,
Not
oh, it's
today.
just them. It's fine.
And already we've had kind of a morning.
Yeah,
So
I know. I wish we just had a camera crew following us around because it would be the fun bloopers leading up to this.
yep.
Yeah. Of course, we had some organic, chaotic conversation, and we got some marriage advice right before we started recording.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was good. That
So
was
thank you, Jill.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you might just save us. No, just kidding. Just for the viewer's purpose, do you want to repeat what the marriage advice was and where you learned it from?
Yes. So this year I will celebrate my 29th anniversary to my
Congratulations.
wonderful husband, Mike. And Scotty asked me, does it get easier? And I said, yes. And here's the one thing that I learned. So I am Spanish Basque by nature. So need I say more? I'm very stubborn. I'm never wrong. And I will stand my ground till the bitter end.
Sound like someone I know. And wait, where are you from, Scotty? Where did
Well, I'm not Basque,
not
but
Basque, but
You might as well be.
I grew up around all of them. So yeah, but both Jill and I are from Battle Mountain, Nevada. So
Battle Mountain.
just small town America.
Where all the amazing people are from.
And the most stubborn of them too, apparently.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it's very simple advice is I learned. It took me a while to learn, but if you are on the same page for all of the major things, if you have the same morals and values and you're on the same page financially and how you raise your kids and all of that and you love spending time together, it's usually the little tiny things that cause the arguments.
Oh, for sure.
And so we stand on this hill of principle for where we're going to hang that picture or plant that tree. And does it really matter? So my philosophy became, is this whatever we're talking about right now, is it going to matter tomorrow, a week from now, or a month from now? And if not, move on. And so I would feel, it's easy to get, just make a concession when it isn't that big of a deal. But it is very hard for us stubborn gals.
Because I'm stubborn too, but I'm not as stubborn as she is.
Yep.
So it's fun.
Yeah, my husband's German. So we have,
Oh yeah, I bet the German. Yeah.
German and Vasco. So
Fun.
anyway,
Okay.
just
Well,
don't-
thank you for that. No,
don't sweat the small stuff.
don't sweat the small
Yeah,
stuff. Easier said than done for sure. But that's good advice. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, just figured we'd bring that in. Since that's the conversation.
My 2
Testing-
cents for the day.
testing mics, and I'm like, wait, this is some good stuff.
Yeah.
So I am curious because you guys, we met Jill 6 years ago, right?
Mhm.
I think 6 years ago. It was in a B&I group and all of that. And that's when we learned that you were both from the same hometown. So I'd love to, I don't know, for the viewers, tell me a little bit more about Battle Mountain, what it was like growing up. I mean, was it a similar? Because you guys are a slightly different generation, I believe. And so I think it could be very interesting to hear what it was like growing up in a small town Nevada.
So I will tell you, oftentimes when I tell people I'm from Battle Mountain, they go, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I go, "I'm not," because if I could go back and do it all over again, if you said you could pick any place in the world to be born and raised, I would go right back to Battle Mountain. I
Really?
love my roots. I
Wow.
love that little small town. I still have friends and family who live there. And I just believe it's the way that I was raised in that small town has shaped who I am as a person, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing. I love my
love
Battle
that.
Mountain roots.
I love that. Do you listen, Scotty?
No.
I
Um,
was like, 'cause I don't feel like you feel the same. but
She's like, oh,
no. I think that my perspective on it is different because I grew up religious, and so therefore I feel like I was really stunted. So, being in a small town,
mhm.
combine that with religion and the naivety that I grew up under, I think for me that it was just really stifling, and I feel like I was always wanting something more, and I knew that there was more out there, and I couldn't grasp it because of what the limitations of it all. So no, I wouldn't choose that again, but I did have a wonderful childhood. I will say that it was not bad. It was actually good. So
it may have been more the Mormon upbringing that you don't know what's what. Was it Battle Mountain or was it the Mormonism or was it just all combined?
yeah, I think it was just a combination of the two.
Sure. And then,
Yeah.
one of the downsides of growing up in a small town is everybody knows your business.
Yeah.
So everyone knows everyone. People know your business. And especially if you're in, a very, have a very religious upbringing, you have to be, mind your P's and Q's and be on your best behavior, or
Right.
somebody's going to tell your mom or your dad, or it's going
Right.
to circle right back around. I remember I told, my kids that growing up, I was more afraid of my dad than I was the cops.
Mm.
We'd be out at a party or something, and the cops would come and say, my last name, my maiden name is Ancho. And so
Yeah.
people called me that, not even my first name. And the cops would come and say, Ancho, get home. If I see that station wagon, the station wagon I drove, if I see that station wagon out, I'm going to call your dad. And I'd be like,
oh,
peace out. I'm out of here. Like, I was more
Yeah.
afraid of what would happen if I got home.
wow.
The cops would come and I'd go, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
So-
Funny. And then so I'd love to know also like how did you get to where you are today of owning website design agency? Is that what I call it? Is that correct?
Digital marketing agency.
Digital marketing agency. That was close. Yeah.
So interesting. I have two kids. One, did the path to school, like 4 years in college, getting his master's, and my daughter's like kind of trying to find her way.
Yeah.
And I I went to 3 colleges. It took me 6 years to get a 4-year degree. And I just was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But it was kind of like I stumbled into original advertising agency, which is more media buying, radio, TV, newspaper, print,
interesting.
billboard.
Okay.
And that's what I did, and I loved it. I would
Really?
do grand
Okay.
openings and special events
Yeah.
and TV commercials and all of that. And then, I don't remember, 2008, 9, 10, kind of with that big real estate crash.
Yeah.
That was that was devastating to the economy. And then that was kind of the rise of more of the internet and social media. And I realized real quick, if I didn't get on board with something different, businesses just did not have the big budgets as much to buy media. And so I, kind of found my way into digital marketing, but I was kicking and screaming. I didn't want anything to do with online and web. I loved agency work and I loved
Yes.
traditional media.
But good for you for being open to that change, because a lot of companies
I
were not.
would be gone.
I mean, photographers too. It's the ones that stayed in the film era. Yeah, like they died essentially.
You have to pivot and you have to, you have to adjust. And
Yeah.
so now I love digital marketing because what we can do for clients on a small budget, you can't do a fraction of that
Right. You
with
get a billboard
traditional
or-
media. Right.
Right. That makes
And
sense.
like I was just
Yeah.
wandering around going,
Yeah.
and then I stumbled into advertising and fell in love with it. And then it kind of transitioned into digital, and I love it too. And
Yeah.
mainly it's because it's challenging. I mean, just when you think you have it figured out, then
Something new happens.
Google does something, AI shows up, and then you're like, oh no, let's just shake the Etch-a-Sketch and start over.
Yeah.
So it's ever changing, but that keeps us
Yep.
on our toes, and that's what makes it fun.
Absolutely. And same. I mean, anything in the tech industry, we have to be open to the fact that tech is constantly moving.
Yes.
And I mean, of course, with the infusion of AI. I think for anyone in tech, it's probably more scary than it has been in the past because it's moving so fast. But same thing. I mean, just like when you as our website design team, you're like, hey, so AI, there's some new features. We got to embed this. We got to, I mean, actually, so yeah, tell me about that. Like, tell me about how you guys are utilizing AI in a way that's helpful to your clients.
Yes. So a couple of years ago, when, AI was first making its appearance, or we
Mhm.
could see it coming, we started pivoting because we could see what was going to happen. We weren't sure how it was going to affect like search engine optimization. And that's kind of one of the main services we provide. But we could see that, people, once it became really popular, it was going to kind of start taking over and people would go, well, I can just use AI. And so we started changing how we did things internally and changed kind of our offerings too.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to streamline our processes so we could offer our marketing services for less.
Yeah.
And that's been a game changer because I just feel like if you're a traditional digital marketing agency and you're doing everything the old school way, and still charging an arm and a
You
leg
have to
for
pay
it.
your employees, and it's just
Yes, and now you go online or on Facebook and anywhere, social media, and there are ads for, oh, you don't need a digital marketing agency. Use this AI tool. Use this. You don't need to hire a web designer. Do this, do that. And those tools, they cannot replace the human, the strategy, the intuition.
Yeah.
So there are things that we do, we can tap into AI, but if
Mhm.
you're hitting the easy button and doing everything with AI, eventually it will catch up with you.
Oh yeah.
AI is a database,
Right,
right?
yeah,
And it's
right,
only
it's
as good as the
limitations.
data in the base. It's limited.
Yep.
There
Yeah.
is no human with experience strategy.
Right.
So when I feel like we have both, we understand how to harness the parts of AI that we think make the most sense for us to use. And where it doesn't, then we use our experience and our expertise and our strategy.
Yeah. Someone still has to manage the AI and
Yes.
tell it what to do and how to use it and such. And I mean, as a business owner, I mean, we're busy. I don't want to think about like writing prompts and this and that, like maybe for one-off things, like if I needed to
Yes.
like polish up some writing or whatever, but it's like I would rather someone else, like we pay someone else to manage our social media, collecting the content, using her creative expertise and how she knows our business to actually like just make it frickin' happen. I don't have time to think about it. I don't have time to make it happen. So I'd rather pay for a service where they can just get it done however it needs to get done. And like you said, it makes it probably less expensive because if we have someone like you or a social media gal that is spending X number of hours, obviously she has to make the time worth it because she can only handle so many clients.
Yes.
If she can handle more clients, then that brings the cost down for us.
Yes.
So very
Yes.
similar. So yeah.
So AI could be remarkable, but it also, I mean, nothing can replace human.
Absolutely.
Nothing can replace people. So it's not a person. It never will be a person.
Yeah.
And so if you can marry the two and mix them and
Yeah.
maximize and keep that human element. I also think from a business standpoint, it's always been important to OCG. You know, we've been in business for 30-something years. Relationships, having relationships with our clients. You know, the second you just say, hey, go here, do this, push this, hit this, pay here, and there are no people behind
it's a machine.
It's a machine.
Yeah.
Then
There's nothing that's tying them there.
there's nothing that's tying them there. And then I don't know, for me too, it just is not fun.
No.
If your whole business is just automated and you don't have any skin in the game and you don't have a relationship with the people you're working with.
Right.
And if you're not solving any problems, that's boring too.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
Lord knows in anything web and digital marketing, there are always problems. Everything's great right now. And 10 minutes from now, something implodes.
Yeah. No, I mean, for us, with AI and such, I mean, because, it's no secret that people are generating images, right, out of AI. And, when that first came out, it was like, okay, they have 6 fingers and, it's fine. Job security, we're good, And now it's like, okay, sure, like people are creating shots, but like, I mean, I feel like what people tell me, because they come to me after they've tried the AI headshots or whatever, and it's like, it just wasn't me, or there was something there that wasn't me. And maybe eventually it will get there. It probably will. But the point is, yeah, sure, there will be a market that is good enough because they don't want to or can't afford to hire a professional photographer. But we have always valued, client experience, just like you, where it's like, okay, so I'm actually sitting down and I'm getting to know my clients and understanding their problems and solving their problems and creating an entire photo shoot that is actually them. So there's that aspect of it. But then there's also the aspect of like, oh, wow, that really actually is me. So I think there's something like soul level that happens when people get their photos taken and it's not just an AI generative. It might become more and more of a luxury as time goes on. It probably will over the years, and we need to be prepared to pivot. Like, okay, so maybe we're not doing as much like practical headshots one day and we're doing more family, we're doing more connection stuff where it's like you and your husband or whatever. But the fact of the matter is it eventually, we just have to pivot, right?
But
Yeah.
I was in your first 40 over
That's
40
right.
photo
Yes,
shoot.
that's right.
And honestly, how much fun is that? Like, I got to come into your studio and do the hair and makeup, and then I had a couple outfit changes, and then we were playing around with, you had a handful of different poses to do, and I
Mhm.
remember specifically the one on the stool.
Which one was it? It's been like 5 years.
You know, the one where you sit and your legs out to the
Oh,
side.
yes.
And I was like-
super spicy, edgy.
But I was
Whatever.
like, I go, oh, I don't like, it just didn't feel like me. So then remember we turned the fan on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did the fan thing, like the supermodel thing, and I flipped
then you're
my hair around.
laughing.
We were laughing.
Yeah.
Like, AI can't replace that.
No,
we
'cause
had
that experience,
so
that
much
memory.
fun in the studio, and then it was fun to come back and look at all the different pictures
Yeah.
and go, oh my God, I love that one.
Yeah.
And all of the ones that, all of the pictures, they were me.
Yeah.
And
And
even
you know it's you. And you're proud that it's you.
And even when you edit them a little bit, which, take a wrinkle out here and there, which
I
is
do it to
nice.
myself.
Come on. It was still me. It wasn't like that doesn't look like
Right,
me.
right.
And so, but I think what AI can never replace is the experience of a photo
Yeah.
shoot and how beautiful you feel and how fun you feel and how free
Yeah.
you feel. And then when the pictures are done, I still look at the pictures and I remember
Yeah.
my time with you that day.
Right.
And
right.
it was
It's like a-
special and it was awesome.
No, well, thank you for that. Because, yeah, that's exactly it. And I think that there's going to be a pendulum swinging where people are going to be creating more and more of those authentic experiences and realizing, it's like if we just had AI for everything, and it's like it just dilutes human experience. If we're constantly doing everything virtual or constantly doing, like here we are in person, right? We could have done a Zoom interview. We could have done, but I'm like, no, I value in-person connection.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what it comes down to. And I think that's innate to being human. And that's going to be something that will persist. And it might just be that we have some growing pains through technology. But no, I'm optimistic that will always be valued.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that was a fun little deep dive into AI. But
Goodness.
Scotty,
Because I just feel like that's the conversation we're having all the time. I'm like, I'm bored.
With the AI conversation. I know.
Yes.
it's the reality. And we constantly think, okay, what's happening 10 years ahead? What's happening 5 years ahead? That's the entrepreneurial way.
Well, I also think, how many years ago was it that you did the first 40 over 40 when I kind of first met you?
5 years ago?
5 years ago?
Yeah.
And look at where Ezel Photography was then and where you
Mhm.
are now.
Yeah, I know. It was called Amber Ezel Photography then,
And
and now it's Ezel Images. And
And
yeah,
images, and
Yeah.
you have your bijou side of it, and
Mhm.
you guys are doing podcasts, and you're everywhere, and you were on the news, and
it's
like
on the news. Yeah,
pretty,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You guys
Yeah,
should
and you were
be
part of
really
that journey.
And
honestly.
I'm honored to be a part of that journey with you. And so I just think it's been really fun to watch your
Mm.
company grow.
Thank you.
And you're kind of a force to be reckoned with
Oh.
in photography around
Well,
here.
that's
Thank you.
all Amber.
Oh my
Sure.
goodness, stop it. Yeah. So, we're figuring this all out, the dynamics of this. And I said specifically, like I've invited a few other guests over the next month, and we want it to be not just business, but also personal.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I asked this earlier, but you haven't quite named the
Oh.
podcast yet, right?
We have. So it is Beyond the Frame. This is so brand new that, yes, Beyond the Frame. Because the idea is like the frame, like the digital frame,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And it's like we're getting a little bit further than just
And
the
beyond
photography
that.
business. This is like getting, beyond.
Personal and all the
Yeah.
things.
So yeah, we'll see. And then the fact that we have guests, it's also accountability for us showing up. Like last night, we didn't sleep well and we got a late start. And if it was just us two, it would have been like, yeah, let's reschedule that. But it's like Jill's waiting for us. We're getting our bus to the studio.
Yeah, we were talking today about, we think it's the daylight savings hangover.
Yes.
Trying to get going in the morning
That's-
this last couple of days has been rough.
It's been rough.
I know.
Yeah. Like
Brain's not quite there.
Sunday morning, we flew out from Salt Lake. Well, we were up actually at Park City, and we had to get up early Sunday morning. The very first
Flight out.
Well, daylight savings.
Oh,
right?
yes. Oh, yes.
It was like the first day
Oh
of
my God.
daylight savings, and we had to fly out that morning.
Yeah.
That was awful.
We didn't
too.
sleep well, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
We're both sleep deprived. And
Yeah. So it's been a whirlwind of the last couple days. I
Oh.
don't like to talk much anyway, so this
Well,
is
it's I'm just not a morning
great.
person, so there's that too.
Yeah, I don't like mornings.
Yeah.
So being being a mom of two, like where are they now and what are they doing and all the things?
So my son, my son graduated from Cal Poly Humboldt a year ago December, came home, got engaged in January, got a job with an engineering firm. He bought a house in June. They got married in September.
Wow, he's doing all the things.
He's getting his master's in geological engineering at UNR, and
Yeah.
so he and his
Wow, good for him.
his wife are just they're amazing. They're
Wow.
go-getters.
Yeah.
And then he played soccer all through college, and then my daughter went to TMCC for 2 years and played soccer, and she transferred to UNR. And her college journey is a little more like mine, trying to find the way.
Yep, that was mine. Yep.
I mean, she's just amazing, but she's just not quite sure what she wants to do yet. So we're kind of working through that.
But she's really young.
Yeah, she's 21.
Yeah.
So
I had like
she's
3 careers
fine.
after that.
right? Okay,
not
I
4.
know, but then you have the overachiever brother,
Oh,
right? And I'm like, stop comparing.
everyone has their
Stop.
path.
I'm like, honey, it took me 6 years to get a 4-year degree. Don't stress.
Yeah.
Don't fret.
Oh, good for you.
Just keep the journey.
Yep.
Stay on your path and you'll find
Soul
your way there.
lessons.
Anyway, they're both great kids. They're both here. My son and his wife live probably 5 minutes from us. And then my daughter's, she lives up kind of by the university.
Oh, that's
so
great. They live local.
they live local and we
Yeah.
do family Sunday dinner every Sunday. They
Aw,
come home. It
That's
makes
beautiful.
mommy's heart happy. So my mom passed away 2 years ago, which was just absolutely soul crushing for our entire family. And my dad is the Basque side.
Mm-hmm.
And he just turned 88, and I am so incredibly proud of him. We were worried because my mom was just kind of the heart and the soul of the family,
Sure.
the
Yeah.
nurturer, and kept everything going. And my dad lives alone. He drives, he golfs.
Yeah.
He's sassy,
Yeah.
sassafras, fun, and I don't worry about him, but I enjoy him. And so, I'll call.
Yeah.
And if I call too often, he'll say, well, I just talked to you yesterday. I don't have anything new to say. And my favorite thing about my dad, when he ends a conversation, you'll be having a conversation with him. And I'll say, well, okay, Dad. And he says, goodbye, please.
Goodbye, please.
Goodbye, please. And he hangs up.
Like I'm done.
Goodbye, please. And he hangs up. So, but he'll say, are you calling because you worried about me? I'm like, no, I just was thinking about you. He'll go, I don't have anything new to say from yesterday. I'm like, all right.
Goodbye,
See ya.
please. That's hilarious.
But he's doing really well. So
Good.
yes, so my dad still lives there. And then I've lots of neighborhood families that
Oh, yeah.
still live there. And then some friends who loved Battle Mountain and thank God chose to stay there and kind of give us all a reason to go back home.
Oh.
So they chose to, got married and raised their families and still live in Battle Mountain. So I have, high school and, friends that I grew up with that still live there. And so
Yeah.
I love when I go home and I still have a lot of people that I can visit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
And my dad, God bless him. So he's like I said, I'm just really proud of him because we were worried. I don't worry anymore.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
He's doing great.
Made it clear not to worry.
No,
It's like,
and
I'm good.
So when I think it's funny too, when Scotty and I first met, our dads worked together
Oh, that's right.
Sort of. I don't
or
think
knew
they knew each other, but I don't think they worked together because my dad was in the mining department and yours dad was in process HR.
He was in HR.
Okay, so they didn't work directly with,
But they knew each
But they
other.
knew each other.
Well, they are colleagues of some sort.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. But it's a big mine, that it employs, or I don't even.
I don't know how many at the time, but
Right.
so
Probably
Yeah.
300 people, I would suspect.
But her dad gave your dad, and he's like, oh yeah, he was a good one or something.
I don't know.
I don't know. Your dad was either, yeah.
Well, I said, my dad is, if our dads knew each other, your dad's either going to say, oh, I love that guy, or that blankety blank. So we went and we asked our dads, and both of them gave each other the thumbs up.
All right.
Like, okay, this is good.
Okay, we can be friends then. No, I'm just kidding.
It wouldn't have affected our friendship, but it's just kind of that era, that, that age.
Yeah.
They, if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't.
Especially in a small town.
They're just going to tell you how they feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Scotty and I were talking about growing up. I heard that a lot. It was just like I would say who I was, and I would go, here it comes. It's either going to be good or bad, and either way, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cute. Yeah. I don't have any family there anymore. Well, no, that's not true. I have like a cousin still in Battle Mountain, but everybody else has either come to Reno or moved elsewhere. Yeah. Like a lot of my cousins are like, I don't know, like in Colorado and Texas, and then actually most of my family's here in Reno, so a lot of my aunts and uncles are here now, and cousins are here now, and my parents and my siblings, and yeah,
everybody's here.
Everybody's here, so kind of just they moved from California, from like Nevada City, if you know where that is.
I do.
Yeah. So they moved from like Nevada City to Battle Mountain, and then they all came together again to Reno. So I can't get rid of them.
But how nice, they're all right here. If you'd like to see them, you can. Reno's big enough. If you'd like not to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Right?
And your family doesn't, it's not like you have to see them. Like,
No.
It's not like that. If it was my family nearby, it would be like, we haven't seen you in 2 weeks. It would not be good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a reason to go back to Battle Mountain anymore. I mean, we've driven through it, but you don't even.
Yeah, my dad still lives in the same house that I grew up in, so I love it. And I'm sad thinking about, that house has been there for so long, and it was just born and raised. Like, what happens? What happens next?
What does happen next?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. So I don't want to think about that, because I can still drive home. I still go down and sleep in my old bedroom.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
It's decorated different. I mean,
Okay. Oh my goodness.
you're like there in the little
doing all my high school stuff on the wall.
what? Now I gotta know, like, what was on your high school wall?
Okay. So this house that I grew up in, my mom was born and raised outside of Beowawe. Do you know where that is? Crescent Valley, Beowawe?
Yeah.
On
She doesn't, but
Gold Acres,
yeah.
In a little mining town. And the house that I grew up in was the mining office. And they picked it up, the beautiful hardwood floors, picked it up and brought it into town, and then put it on, a basement.
Right.
The basement. And that's the house I grew up in. I grew up in the basement, so I've always been like a cave dweller. So I had the room in the basement, and this was the older homes that had the concrete walls. Right.
Oh.
So I remember when I was moving, I grew up upstairs, there were 4 of us kids upstairs. Yeah. Then I got to move downstairs into the bedroom. And so we carpeted the wall.
Did you?
Because it was cold down there.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So it still has.
We have one of those concrete basements that we rent. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So it still has the carpet on the wall, which is so funny to me.
Oh, that is funny, because you guys did it when you guys were kids. Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
And so it still has the carpet on the wall, and I had a waterbed.
A waterbed?
Oh my God.
The big, not the mattress kind, the big bag of water.
Yeah.
Wow.
With the really sexy wooden frame around it, and the waterbed. So
Oh
I had
my
a
gosh.
waterbed and the carpet
That's
on the wall.
hilarious.
That was like the 80s thing,
It was
right?
pretty swanky. It was,
Yeah.
and then I had my own, landline phone.
Ooh, you're living it up.
Jill was a cool kid.
Well, I don't know. So
I was not a cool kid.
no more waterbed. The carpet's still there. No more landline in the bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
funny.
But Yes. So there's still a bed in that bedroom. So when I go home, I stay there. And
It's kind of nostalgic, I bet.
it is. It's really nostalgic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have, my parents are in my childhood home and they're talking about selling. They've been talking about selling it for years. Every year we're going to sell the house. We're going to sell the house. But, I think I've moved on from it. But it's like, you go down there and it's just like, oh.
There's still a piece of
you know,
your heart there.
There is.
So
there
it's
is.
just home.
Yeah.
And so you
Totally
think
get
about
it.
when home is gone, what does that look and feel like? And I don't know.
Oh.
I
Okay,
don't,
well, we're not going to think
I
about
don't
that
wanna go
anymore.
there.
Nope. We're good.
Nope.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we're probably about wrapping up anyway. I think I know you have places to be,
Close.
things to do. We just took the whole 20 minutes just figuring out the tech all over
That's
again.
okay.
So, but thanks for being our, first guinea pig with all of this.
I can't think of any place I would have rather been this morning than hanging out with you
that's
guys.
so
And
sweet.
honestly, I'm honored and flattered that you picked me for the first one.
Oh, good.
And so I'm just
We can be ourselves with you. You don't have to worry.
exactly, and I'm just excited for where you're headed, and I'm proud of your journey,
Thank
and
you.
I'm grateful to be a part of it in any way that I can be. So thank you for having me today.
Yeah.
And I look forward to just years and years of fun and relationship and success with you.
Oh,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Same. Oh,
I
thanks
love
for
you.
being
I
here.
love you, girls.
Oh, yeah, we love you. All right. Well, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Goodbye, please.